What's up, players? Today we're going to talk about how to rune your chicken. And I know I have to do these videos more often. These how to rune videos, because you guys really want them. So, today was how to rune your chicken. Beautiful monsters, some of my favorite monsters in Summoners War. All of them. I like all of them. I like all these chickens. I mean, it's one of those things like, yeah, I'd be a little bummed if I got a dupe, because I have the, of course, Sigmarus fusion monster Teshar. I got one of those, but man, all these monsters are good. All these monsters are really good. Really big damage, beautiful monsters. So let's talk about how to rune them, right? Let's talk about where we can use them, how to rune them. Let's talk about the skills. Arcane Blast attacks the enemy with a mysterious energy and stuns them for 1 turn with an 18% chance. I believe this goes to 48% when it's maxed. Flame Nova explodes compressed energy, which is not a bad chance to stun. But I mean, lots of times it just kills him before it stuns him, right? Explodes compressed energy of fire to inflict damage to an enemy. The more HP the targeted enemy currently has, the larger the damage becomes. So if the HP gauge is full, just for the new players, if the HP gauge of the enemy is full, it's going to do more damage. If the HP gauge is less full, it's going to do less damage, but they need less damage to kill them anyway, right? And Perna is, I know he's an HP monster. You could rune him as HP, you could not rune him as HP. He's so flexible. He, she, whatever. Perna is so flexible. And then Eternity Passive recovers the HP of all allies by 10% every turn and rises from the ashes at the moment of death with 100% HP. 100%. And I think this is 8 turns when it's maxed. I think it's got 4 cooldowns, so it's 8 turns. Eternity Passive. And then the Awakening bonus is speed, I believe. Yes, attack speed and dungeon leader skill of 44%. The biggest, is this the biggest dungeon attack power leader skill? Yeah, this is the biggest dungeon attack power leader skill. I was trying to remember. Alright, so what kind of runes are good on Perna? Oh, where can we use Perna actually? Let's see. Perna farming, definitely we could use him for farming. He's not going to be as fast as things like Lucian or Teshar, the wind chicken, the wind phoenix. Giants, Element Disadvantage. He's not horrible in Giants, but he's good. I wouldn't, you could, his leader skill is really nice, but I just think Lucian is a much better Giants monster, Teshar is a much better Giants monster. He's got Element Disadvantage. I wouldn't really say that he should be a monster you use in Giants, just because of the Element Disadvantage. Unless you're talking about Giants, if you're talking about Giants B9, then yes, he's great. But Giants B10, no. Dragons, I do know some people that run Speed Dragons teams with Perna as the leader and no Vertiheal. So that is, if you're like, oh, hold on, what was that? I don't have a Vertiheal, but I do have a Perna. Maybe there's some of you out there that are like, I don't have Vertiheal, but I have Perna. Very interested. Yes, you can run. It's like Perna. It's like it's just doing more damage faster to the enemy before they can get turns. So, yeah. It's Galleon, fast Galleon, moves first. Perna, Tark, what else? What other monsters are there? I'm trying to think of what other monsters. There's a couple people. There's not too many people that run it, but there's a few people that run it. I know Barian runs it. I know a few people on Asia server run it too. The Perna DB10. So it's a fun team. It's a fast team, but it's a little different. So you definitely use Perna in Dragons B10. You could use Perna in like all the I mean, he's got a heal, right? He's got big damage for his second skill. Even if he dies, he comes right back, and he's got the HP, the attack leader skill, which is massive. Necropolis, no, I don't like Perna for Necropolis. No multi hits, no slow, no real debuffs for bosses. Elemental dungeons, oh yes, elemental dungeons, yes, like water, wind, fire. Not so much water, Wind, fire, dark light. Necropolis, well, okay, I'm reading the wrong direction, okay. Secret dungeons, no. While he does big damage, he's a single target monster, so secret dungeons, no. 3-team Rift of World raids, I've seen people run Perna in there. He heals, he'll revive. He's got not really a frontline monster, but he does damage. He doesn't bring too much to the table as far as debuffs, so he doesn't bring slow, defense break, attack break, brand, heal block, anything like that. But they use him just as their damage dealer that has like a secondary heal. You don't see him too often, but you do see him sometimes. Elemental Rift Beasts. Yes, yes, awesome, awesome in Elemental Rift Beasts. Big single target damage, guys. Big single target damage. Beautiful for Elemental Rift Beasts. Again, not all of them, but in most of them, he's really nice. Trial of Ascension. I know some people that like to use him in Trial of Ascension. I feel like he's not my first choice, or second choice, or third choice. Like, if you got him, and you built him, he at least has the AoE, he's got a heal, he's got the stun for the first skill, he's got good speed, good base speed, but I just wouldn't, he wouldn't be my first pick. I think there's better stuff for Trial of Ascension. Let's see. But you could use him, I mean, he's not the worst pick either. Arena, definitely Arena. Arena defense, he's great. Arena offense, I would say, right now, where we are as far as Arena, most of the time you're going to want to pick AoE monsters, area of effect monsters, you know, to try to nuke down your opponent pretty fast, not do single target damage. But for Arena defense, I think he's really nice. Same thing with Guild Wars. Actually, Guild Wars, in both offense and defense, in Guild Wars, he's amazing. He's got a heal, he's got a stun, he's got a big damage. If he gets killed, he comes right back. Live Arena, he's amazing too. So Arena, Guild Wars, and Live Arena, he's awesome. Arena defense, he's really nice because he's anti-illusion. Look at his HP. Look at his HP, right? He's got crap defense, right? Not really high defense. He's got good HP though, which means that if you stack HP on him, even if you put like HP subs, HP on slot 6, on my China server I have him, I just used what I had as far as the runes for that. So I have speed, crit damage, HP for my China server, fatal runes. You're like, what fatal runes? Speed, crit damage, HP. Perna is so good. Perna is a flexible monster. So you can rune Perna so many different ways. Just don't rune him triple defense or anything. Don't worry about his defense, right? His defense isn't going to get better, right? His defense, you may as well just work on making him an HP tank if you're going to try to make him tankier. Don't try to, like, the defense, if you can get some and grind some, fine, but I would go for his HP. He's going to get so much more value if you put like an HP sub on him rather than a defense sub. But I think speed is great on him. Speed is really good. Attack, crit damage, crit rate, HP, all really good. All really, really good. For Live Arena, I think resistance is nice on Perna too. But I mean subs, we're talking subs or resistance leader. Not really. Really for Perna you want speed, crit rate, crit damage, attack, and HP. Those are the primary subs you want on Perna. But you can rune him a couple different ways. I like to have him with speed on 2. I know a lot of other people like to have him with speed on 2 as well. This way, if they're using him with Orion, like a speed leader, Orion, Perna, Orion will strip something, defense break something, Perna will go in and will just one-shot it and nuke it and kill it, right? Because Perna's got 2 skills. He's got the first skill, he'll maybe stun, maybe he'll stun, maybe he won't do the second skill. If you get the second skill, it's gonna have full HP, Perna's gonna be super damage dealer crazy and just do tremendous amounts of damage. Mine is speed, crit damage, HP, fatal, and he does like 30-40,000 damage on that, on my China server. I don't have him on my main. I wish I did, but I don't have him on my main. Another reason, speed, Jaara, Orion, Perna is a really popular Guild Wars defense. So if you don't have speed on 2, that's fine. I mean, if you have speed on subs, you really don't need speed on 2. If you have really good speed substats on runes, just want to make sure that he's good. Like if he's on your defense and that's something that you're going for, like a speed leader, Orion, it doesn't have to be Jaara, but a speed leader, Orion, and a Perna, then gotta make sure he doesn't get interrupted, right? He or she, whatever Perna's Chachi's underpants giblets, underpants giblets say. So you can do it. You can do it HP. You can build them more tanky. And I know a lot of Live Arena people are building theirs really tanky. So for PvP, I think people like to do him with Will too. Just he is susceptible to Zaros though. He's susceptible to Zaros, he's susceptible to Avaris. Not too many people build Avaris though. So there's a few things to counter Perna. But for Live Arena, I notice people are doing him tanky, and then the more time progresses, the more attack power he gets. He's still gonna do big damage either way, right? He's still gonna do big damage either way. But he can survive, and he's got the first skill stun too. But I have noticed Live Arena tanky Perna builds. But he's nice because if you build him with a little bit of HP, I know I'm still talking about Perna, I know. If you build him with a little bit of HP extra, he's nice to be able to kind of counter Lucians. Like Lucian goes, oh, Perna's a little bit tanky, first Lucian can't kill him, second Lucian finally kills him maybe, and then Perna comes back with full health anyway and wrecks Lucian. So, not too much you can do about that. Like a Perna and a Kumar, and it's going to be kind of an annoying defense for Lucian to deal with. So, susceptible to water monster. This is still susceptible to like Alicia or Tower, but still. So let's see, what 4 sets are good on him? Fatal, yes, because he's good. I mean, I have mine on Fatal for my China server. I really like him. I would like optimally on Violent, don't get me wrong. Violent is the #1 set, especially since it's cooldown. Just extra Violent procs makes his cooldown really nice, so we can keep reviving if you can't kill him right away. Fatal's nice. Swift is nice because I think he definitely needs good speed. I would not make him slow. I would not make Perna slow. Despair, no, I wouldn't go Despair on him. He's a single target monster. Violent, yes, great. Rage, yes, for the same reason as Fatal. Fatal and Rage are both good. He does big damage. I know, I've seen some just, I know I do a Fatal one. I've seen some Rage ones. Vampire, I don't really see too many Vampire Pernas though. I mean, I guess it is something that could be done, but he's gonna revive anyway. I think I would go Violent before Vampire. But if you have good Vampire runes and you want to do it, then go for it. 2 sets. Energy, not bad. Blade, I would go for Blade before I would go for Energy. Focus, he only has the stun on the first skill. He really doesn't need Focus too much. Guard is gonna do not really anything for him. Endure, not really. I really wouldn't prioritize Endure. Shield would be nice because he's got good base HP. Shield is nice. I would go Blade is nice, Shield is nice, Will for PvP if you're gonna use him for PvP. Revenge is nice because he gets stun on that, and he's gotta get killed twice, right? For most people, they have to kill him twice unless they're gonna reset him and then kill him. So they're gonna be hitting him a lot. So Revenge is not bad on Perna either. Nemesis is not bad on Perna either. Wouldn't be my first choice, but maybe Violent Nemesis you could say, okay, well, Violent Nemesis, if he's got good speed, then he gets hit, and maybe like do an AoE to the team, and then Perna gets hit, Perna increases attack gauge, and Perna goes next. He starts Violent proc, and he starts healing up the team. It's not the worst idea ever. Destroy, he does big damage, so Destroy isn't bad on him either. So I think Blade, what do we say? Blade, Shield, since his HP is high, Will for PvP, Revenge, Nemesis, and Destroy aren't bad either. So those are my Perna. But definitely don't skimp on the speed, guys. Don't skimp on the speed. Crit rate, crit damage are awesome on him. An attack and HP. Those are the stats that I would look for on Perna. And of course in Guild War defense, I mean, let's face it, you want him on Violent. You want him on like Violent, maybe Will. So anyway. Then we have Sigmarus. Sigmarus, noticeably lower base HP, noticeably lower base speed, right? Ooh. Lower base HP, lower speed, a little bit higher attack, 100 points higher attack. So same first skill. Second skill, freezes if you get a critical hit, and his awakening bonus is extra crit rate. 15% more crit rate, which is nice. That's a pretty nice. This does big damage too. It doesn't do as much damage as Perna. But it does, well, if they're full health, it doesn't do as much damage as Perna. I haven't really tried it, but it does still do pretty good damage. I really haven't compared it when Perna's attacking with an enemy with low health versus the Frozen Orb. Then I think Sigmarus would be. Sigmarus is just this is just consistent damage though. It's got a nice cooldown on here too. I believe that's what, 2 turns. When it gets maxed, and then Ice Volcano attacks all enemies with an exploding Ice Volcano, inflicting damage based on their max HP, decreasing their attack power for 2 turns. So where is that useful? It's useful for TOA hard, the higher floors of TOA hard. You got two CC skills. It's not really crack. It's like it's single target crack control, right? Single target stun, single target freeze, and then this. I have my Sigmarus rune for Despair. Despair Will. I wish he had a little bit better. He's got better base defense, but he's lacking like 4,000 HP, almost 4,000 HP. So under good old Perna. What can we do for Sigmarus? Sigmarus farming. He's good for farming. He's got the AOE. For giants, he's good for giants. Yeah, you definitely use him in Giants B10. Damage based on enemies max HP, really nice. It's AOE too, and it's attack break too, which is important for giants. Dragons, yes, dragons B10 as well. Element advantage, damage based on max HP. AOE, damage based on max HP. Necropolis, no. Elemental dungeons, yes, he's good for a lot of stuff in Kairos dungeon, but not Necropolis. Secret dungeons, yeah, he's got the AOE at least with a third skill, so he's pretty good at secret dungeons. Only one AOE, so still Lucian is a little bit better. Zaras is a little bit better. Teshar is a little bit better for secret dungeons than Sigmarus is. 3-team Rift of World raids, no. All he's got is the crowd control and attack break, and he's kind of a little squishy. He really doesn't survive too much. Perna's just a little bit better for, not a little bit, but Perna's noticeably better for 3-team Rift of World raids. So I don't know anyone that uses Sigmarus for raids. Elemental Rift Beasts, yes, you can use. I mean, he does good single target damage, right? And he's got the AOE, which is good against the fire one, the Fire Rift Beast. Trial of Ascension, you could use him in Trial of Ascension. He's got stun on the first skill. He's got freeze on the second skill. Like I said, I run mine with Despair, so he can potentially stun. He's got an AOE with the third skill. He can stun and he can attack break. And then that's just more reliable stuns for the first skill and more reliable at least stun or freeze for the second skill. Even if we don't get the freeze, we might get the stun. So I do like, that's one of the reasons that I do like him for Despair. And he's not bad for Trial of Ascension either. He's got the AOE attack break, and he's got some first and second skills that do CC. Then we have Arena. I like to use him in Arena. I don't know if anyone else, I don't know if too many people that use him as much as I do. I think one of the reasons is that the people that I know just happen to have better stuff. Like they have Tower, they have Alicia, they have Poseidon, they have all this other stuff, they have Arad, and they're like, okay, those are my water monsters. And I'm like, man, my water monsters are like Julie and Sigmarus, so I gotta do what I gotta do. But I'm actually, I enjoy using Sigmarus. I do. My goodness, I do. I have him on, like I said, I have him on Despair Will. Let's see. And I'll take him in, I have just a Shield Will team, and that's where I use him. For Arena. Especially higher levels, since there's a lot of Water Fire comps. And then Guild Wars, sometimes I use him for Guild Wars, right? Because I have the Will on him. He's one of my will monsters. He's kind of if you gotta make sure you have enough shield to go with him, because if the enemies get in the first turn, you don't want them to like nuke everyone. So I like to bring. He needs to have. For my personal preference, I use him with two other shield monsters if I really want to make sure that he doesn't die first turn, right? Because Theomars can go crazy. So I like to have I like to have 2 sets of shield on, like for example I use Galleon and a Chemmir. I like to have 2 sets of shield on Galleon, 2 sets of shield on a Chemmir, and they all have will, so I could use Galleon, a Chemmir, and Sigmarus if I would like to. And then they have to break through 4 sets of shield before they kill anything. So it's a nice little Sigmarus protection. Sigmarus protection system. Let's see. So Guild Wars, Live Arena, I really wouldn't do him in Live Arena. Because he's too easy to counter in Live Arena. His base HP is not amazing. His base HP is not amazing. He's a water monster. There's so many different answers to Sigmarus, right? And I'm not talking to Sigmarus. When I say he's good for Arena and Guild Wars, or he could be good for Arena and Guild Wars, I'm talking offense. I'm not talking defense. He's a bad defense monster. He's easily lutionable. He's got like no HP. There's really nothing you can do. He just gets Lucian way too easy. So really, he's not going to do you very good in Arena defense. In Arena D. So what can we do for Sigmarus? Fatal's not bad. Swift is not bad. Despair, I like Despair because he got the AoE. Violent is not bad. I know some people... I think Nick the Greek uses Violent on him. Rage is really nice on him since he does damage based on the enemy's max HP. This is going to do the most damage with Rage. So it does pretty sizable damage. I mean, if you're using him the Hall of Water, he's really great for the Hall of Water. He's great for all the... his leader skill's awesome too. HP of ally monsters in dungeons. Really, really great. Leader skill, can't go wrong with HP. But yeah, Rage makes the most out of this. And he does crazy damage in Hall of Water. Crazy, crazy damage. Hundreds of thousands of damage. Tremendous damage. Tremendous! Let's see. But Violent is good too. Vampire. I used to use mine on Vampire, but this skill does not scale on Vampire. So you're not going to actually leech any HP with the Ice Volcano. But I used to use him Vampire early game just because I was using him as a farmer for any fire levels. And I was using... He still leeches HP with here. But not really so much here. Not really so much. Not at all here. Right. The only one that does damage based on max HP and heals from that, I believe, is the Dark Magic Knight. But she doesn't need Vampire. It's just part of her skill. 2 sets Energy. Not really my favorite. Blade. We don't really need Blade so much because as long as we get good substats, we don't need Blade as much since we have the Awakening crit rate bonus. Oh, I just changed it to Phoenix, okay. Focus, all 3 of his skills are debuffs. So Focus is not bad. Guard, I really wouldn't put Guard on him. Endure, really wouldn't worry about that. Shield, he's got low base HP. Will, okay. Revenge, he's too squishy. If he's gonna die pretty easily. It's not like he's like Perna where he's got, like, it's kinda could be difficult to kill him pretty quickly. He's gonna go down pretty fast. So, he doesn't really need Revenge. Nemesis, no. Destroy, maybe Destroy, maybe, if you really want, if you got good runes. I like, the way I use him, I use Will. Blade, I'm trying to think of what the best one would be. If you still have low crit rate, Blade is good because we want to make him crit. I would say whatever the best value runes you have for this, but I would go for attack. I would go for, he needs good speed, right? Because you want him to get some turns. But depending on where you use him, I think the crit damage is nice, and I think a little bit of tankiness wherever you can get it. Overall value runes I would go for Sigmarus because he's more for dungeons and things like that than he is for PvP. Even though I know I use him for PvP, he's only really good in arena offense, Guild Wars offense sometimes. As far as PvP is concerned, even though that's where I use him. But I would do maybe Focus, maybe Blade, and then just really whatever the best value you have for the runes. This is what I go, because I don't see any 2 sets that are like, oh my god, must pick. This is the best ones for him. So that's Sigmarus. Fun monster though. I still like him. I need to he's not fully skilled up because I just had other stuff. Like every time I was like, oh, maybe I'll skill up Sigmarus, and then something else came and I was like, I'll skill them up. Alright, so we have Teshar. The love of my life, Teshar. Look at his base attack is amazing. Awesome base attack. Good speed too. Increase attack speed here. Okay. So we got the first skill, the same second skill as Perna. Huge damage, huge damage. I've seen this guy do over 100,000 damage with the second skill. Crazy. If the enemy has like squishy HP, not squishy, squishy defense, low defense, and their HP bar is full, and they just have a defense break, huge damage. I've seen it do over 100,000 damage. Tempest attacks all enemies with a violent storm, becomes instantly reusable if an enemy dies. So this guy is straight up big damage, big speed. Mine is actually slow. I don't think that I'm using mine correctly. So I'll tell you. I'll explain why. I have mine runed for. He's got 3,000 attack, he's got 71% crit rate, 191% crit damage. He's kind of slow though, he's kind of on the slow side. I got attack, crit damage, attack here. Those are the runes that I have for him. But I think that I'm using mine. I think that, mine survives, right? Mine survives, he's on a shield will team. I was explaining the whole double shield on 2 monsters, 4 sets of shield total. So he will survive things. but I really think that what I really need to do is make him over 200 speed and just give him like speed crit damage attack and make him go first. He's got such low base HP. Look at this. He's got, this is 12,000 and this is 7,000. Ouch. So I think he needs to be either swift, fatal, or rage. He needs to kill. I know you're like, well, violent, you could do double AoEs. Violent could be interesting. Violent could be interesting. An interesting build for him. But I think he needs to be, I think, swift, fatal, or rage with just high speed and big damage. Big damage. Because he's a little squishy to be in the team that I use him for. So, hey man, I'll tell you guys when I think I'm doing something, even though I'm doing it, I think that it's maybe not the most optimal thing to do with him. Even though I'm doing it. So we got the first skill, second skill, third skill, crit rate leader skill for dungeons, really nice to make it. This doesn't. Okay. So the thing with Teshar Lucian, like I run a Teshar Lucian Dragon's B10. Lucian will get you maybe a better best time, but Teshar in the long run, if you keep doing it, it'll give you a couple extra, a couple better seconds best time than Teshar. But Teshar will give you more reliable runs, right? If everyone's at like 70% crit rate, he'll bump up your crit rate to 100%, and you'll have reliable runs. You're gonna crit, you're gonna clear stages fast, not really too much problems. So your overall run time will be lower if you add up all the numbers and divide them by however many runs. Teshar being the leader will actually make your runs overall a little bit faster than having an attack power leader skill. Just for reliability. But let's see, farming, amazing for farming, absolutely. Even though he derps way too much, more than he should. Giants, he's amazing for, he's A+, he's an S tier Giants B10 monster. Dragons, no, way too squishy, element disadvantage. Necropolis, no multi-hits. Farming and Giants, he's phenomenal though. Elemental dungeons, yes, he's good for the elemental dungeons, like water, wind, Sigmarus is actually better for the Hall of Water. I know it seems like Teshar would be better, he's got element advantage, but Sigmarus is actually better for that. The wind, dark, and light, yes, good for those. Let's see, secret dungeons, absolutely, he's a king of secret dungeons. He's a god tier secret dungeon monster. 3-team Rift of World Raids, no, he's too squishy, he doesn't bring any debuffs to the table. Elemental Rift Beasts, yeah, actually he is good for Elemental Rift Beasts because he does big single target damage. So yes, he is. I know he's got the AoE, but he's got big single target damage with his second skill, so that's really nice for them. Trial of Ascension, if you're gonna nuke Trial of Ascension, you're going for speed clears, then yes, he could be good. But if you're going for TOA hard, as soon as you get the TOA hard, really, Teshar is... He's so squishy, man. Anything will kill him. Arena, definitely. Of course, Arena. But I think what I mentioned before is I think he needs more speed. And I think he needs to be on the speedier side, right? I think he needs speed on 2, speed crit damage attack. I think I need to take Teshar's runes. I don't know off. I'm not gonna say off. I think he needs to be kind of closer to the way I build Zyros. In either violent or I kind of want to do him violent because I kind of want to have that potential to kill something with the third skill and then get a second AoE and then just double AoE. I think that'd be really fun. But it's all RNG, it's all RNG. Then what else do we have? But I think the rage or the fatal is really necessary. I mean, fatal is great for him. He's got one of the highest base attack. I think he might be the highest base attack in the game. If not one of them. If not, he's tied for first or something. Because I thought that the other chickens were 1098 too, but maybe that was old data. Maybe they nerfed the attack power of the other one, because I thought they were both 1090. I thought one of them was 1098 as well, but I guess not. So what were we talking about? Oh, Arena. Yes, Arena, definitely, but I think he needs to be on the speedier side and not really the will second turn one, because he's so easy to kill. Guild Wars, yes, same thing though. So easy to kill, so I think he needs to be. And I'm talking offense. Arena offense, Guild Wars offense. Live Arena, I've used him in Live Arena. He's not my #1 pick though. I mean, he is one of my like picks that I like to use, but he's not one of the best Live Arena monsters. He's too squishy. He's too easy to kill. So you got to be really fast, and you have to make sure that you get the turn advantage over them, get the first turn, start defense breaking, and start killing him, because if you don't, he's going to be super easy to kill. So he's not the best for Live Arena. But for Arena offense, for Guild Wars offense, I really like him. I really like him. I've seen some people try to use him in Guild Wars in Arena defense, but they never seems to work out as well as they want it to. Let's see. So we have all of those, and we talked about the Fatal is good on him. Swift, I think, could be good on him. Despair, you could do it. He's got still an AoE. He's got an AoE, so we could do Despair on him. But I think I would go for, because with this contingency, instantly reusable if an enemy dies, that means you want as much damage as humanly possible on him. So that's why I'm saying Fatal and Rage are like the #1s. #1s. But you can do Despair if you want to. You can do Violent if you want to. Violent's almost never bad on anything. Vampire, you can do Vampire too if you want to. 2 sets energy, really no. Blade is more useful on him because you really want him to crit, and he gets this, when he's awakened, he gets this speed, so he doesn't get extra crit rate like Sigmarus does, so Blade's a little bit more useful for him. Focus, not as much. Focus better on Sigmarus, not as good on Teshar, because Teshar only has this stun here. He's got nothing you need focus for on the last 2 skills. Guard, no, I wouldn't put guard on him. I would just go full YOLO nuker attack. YOLO, YOLO, YOLO. Endure, don't need Endure at all. Don't need Revenge at all. Don't need Nemesis at all. The reason being is that he's gonna die so fast anyway. He's gonna die so fast. So Energy, Guard, Endure, Revenge, Nemesis would not be, I don't like him for Teshar. Destroy could be fun on him, especially against tanky, like, I can think of maybe would be good against, like, Camilla's, would be good against Ariel, Praha. If you want to start destroying some of their HP. Might be nice. Might be nice. So I would go probably Blade or Destroy for him. I know I have Will. I use him in my, like, a turn 2 team, but... Oh my god, 32 minutes. It's chocolate milk break time, guys. Oh my god. Alright, Eludia. First skill, same as the rest of them. Holy Orb stuns him if you get a critical hit, so he's like Sigmarus. Sigmarus removes the beneficial effects and deals damage to all enemies with Holy Fire, prevents them from receiving beneficial effects for 1 turn. Okay. Could be really nice. So, think of him like a Soha, right? Think of him like a Soha. Like a buffed up, beefy version of a Soha. And then we have the defense leader skill for dungeons, even though his defense is super low anyway. I feel like this wouldn't be my... It's a good leader skill. It's a good leader skill, but I feel like it wouldn't be my first choice if I was running an Eludia team. I'd be like, why aren't you attack? Why aren't you attack? I want to nuke! Look at this, we got big damage. We got 1054 base attack. I want attack leader skill or crit rate leader skill. Damn you! Just because, I mean, his base defense is so low anyway. What is his, increases resistance by 25%. Alright. So let's see. This Purifying Blaze. I was gonna say Breeze or, I don't know, Braze. Is so interesting. So, let's say you're going up against the Chloe team, right? You go first before the Chloe, they have will runes and shield runes, you strip them all, and then you put up this block beneficial effects. This way, when Chloe goes next, she can't do anything, right? Pretty fun team, pretty fun. But what can we use here? Usually for monsters that that strip, you like to do Despair on. Despair. And then, again, similar to Sigmarus in this is a stun, not a freeze. Like, little difference, but really not kind of difference. So this is just, Despair is going to give him a good chance to Even though he doesn't have the crit rate when he's awakened like Sigmarus. Damn you, Water Monkey. So Blade wouldn't be bad on him. But I think Despair would be nice on him. For the same reasons as Sigmarus, since he's very similar to Sigmarus. With the first two, with the second skill anyway. And the AoE. And he's got the strip. The words are awesome. Alright, so farming, yes, AoE, farming is good. Giants, yes. We can strip the giants' buffs and we can apply the beneficial effect block so that the towers cannot put defense buff and attack buff on the giants. So that's nice. Dragons, not as good for Dragons B10 because the dragon gets cleansed anyway. So while he is good, he does good damage. He's a big attack. I don't think that if you're running a dragon speed team, you still wouldn't use him as the leader because you want to not get hit in the first place. This is just it will remove the beneficial effect, but then they're just gonna cleanse the block beneficial effect debuff anyway. The tower in Dragons B10. So really, he's not bad for dragons, but he's not as good as he could be. And then we have Necropolis, no. Elemental Dungeons, yes, good for Elemental Dungeons. We're seeing a trend here that all these guys are good for Elemental Dungeons. Lots of stuff in Kairos Dungeon. I'm not saying he's bad. I'm not saying he's bad at Dragons B10, right? I know some people are gonna be like, "Oh, but I use mine, and I got one. I got a friend who uses it in Dragons B10." I'm not saying he's bad. I'm just saying that the immunity is still gonna go on. That's what I'm saying. Secret dungeons. Yeah, he's got at least one AoE, so that's not bad. 3-team Rift of World raids. Not really. No, he's got no debuffs that are going to be applied to the Rift of Worlds. Elemental Rift Beasts. Yeah, he could be not bad. He could be not bad. This isn't really going to do anything though, but it could be good for the. He's got good base attack. It's not the worst monster for Elemental Rift Beasts. He can be pretty good. Trial of Ascension. Depends on the stage. I think actually, if you have him on Despair, he could be good. He could be good for this. I'm trying to think of like some stages specifically, but I think if he's on Despair, he could be pretty nice for Trial of Ascension. Arena, yes. Arena Guild Wars, yes. Live Arena. He's got low defense and low HP. Like, yes, for the fact that he's got... You have to really... His stats don't match with Live Arena, though. That's the thing. The speed is low, the defense is low, the HP is only 9390. But he's got these two. His skills work for Live Arena, though. These skills are good for Live Arena. This skill is good for Live Arena, too. His stats don't work for Live Arena. That's what I'm saying. So yes and no at the same time, if that makes any sense. You have to have... The runes need to be kind of wacky, and then he's kind of hard to rune for Live Arena. Unless of course you're going speed and YOLO, but I don't really think that you can use it too much in higher levels. Just because his stats and his skills don't match up as well as other monsters' stats and skills do. So let's see. Fatal, yes, he's got great base attack, so Fatal is definitely good on him. Swift, yes, so he's got a lot of crowd control. I think speed is very important on him. Despair, yes. Violent, yes. All of those work good on him. Rage, yes, he's an attacker, man. He's an attacker. Rage is good on attackers. Vampire, yes, all of those actually work on him. All of those would be nice on him. 2 sets, energy, not really so much. Blade, yes, Blade could be very important. Focus be very important. Focus and Blade are going to be very good on him. Guard really isn't going to do too much. Endure, we already have resistance on him. For some effing reason, I don't know. Resist, because that's exactly what you guys want on him, right? Why couldn't it be speed or crit rate? Speed would be nice. Speed would be nice on his as his awakened form. Shield, not really so much. Will, good for PvP. Revenge, he's got low defense. He could have better HP though. Revenge wouldn't be my first choice. Nemesis, really no. Not my first choice. Destroy could be okay. Could be okay, but I think Focus. I think definitely Focus or Blade would be the ones that I want to that I would go for, because you want to make sure this crits and this, they all have a debuff of some kind for PvP, right? These are PvP debuffs. These aren't really, I mean, there's some Kairos dungeon uses for them, but like you can't bring them into the, like I said, the rift, the raids. So focus would be good on him though. Focus would be good. So all of those 4 sets were actually not bad. I would think maybe I would do Despair Focus, Despair Will, Despair Blade. I would go one of those for Eludia. I would try to make his speed a lot higher though. Speed crit damage attack is what I would go for. He'd be a nuker. Like you don't want him to start. You don't want your enemy to start getting turns though. So that's what I rune Eludia for. And then we have the last one. Just trying to make this faster. I always try to make. I always go into the videos and I'm like, I'm gonna make this one faster today. It's gonna be faster. It's gonna be super fast. Never happens like that. Never happens like that. All right. We have Jaara. Okay, so at least over 10,000 base HP. What is his awakening? Increases accuracy. Accuracy by 25%. Dungeon's resistance leader, huge resistance leader skill. I wonder with this resistance leader skill if that makes dragons a little bit easier. I'm not sure. I feel like you'd still get the dots though. I feel like it's like resistance. Resistance. Still get those dots. So what do we have? Same first skill, Dark Nova. So this is the same as Teshar and Perna. Huge damage, beautiful skill. And then Fire Path burns the enemy's soul with soul fire, disturbing HP recovery and branding the target for 3 turns. The enemy can't be revived with if the enemy is killed with this skill. Alright, so where can we use him? He's got low base HP. He's got a little bit low speed. I'm sorry, not base HP. He's got low base defense and speed. But really nice attack and HP. I think this guy is the closest to Perna, actually. So we can do farming. This is just a single target skill, right? Yeah, this is just a single target skill. So not really the best farmer. Giants, he's got the brand. Brand is nice. Brand is nice too. He's got the resistance leader skill, and he's got big damage. I think he'd be good for giants. He's better than Perna for giants because he's got element neutral instead of element disadvantage. Dragons, yeah, that brand could be nice. Big damage and brand, and I'm curious to see how this actually works. Because I feel like you would still get dots anyway. I feel like, because resistance, I don't ever believe resistance. So that's already been debunked by a bunch of people, right? A bunch of people did tests on resistance. They're like, yeah, no, accuracy resistance doesn't really work like we think it does. The great scam of come to us, Summoner's War. So dragons, I think it'd be fun to use in dragons. I think definitely could be good in dragons. Necropolis? No, still no for Necropolis, because they don't have multi-hit skills, right? Hell Ladies would be better for Necropolis than these chickens, even though they have good leader skills, which would help the entire team out. Really, they do nothing as soon as they get to the boss. So, I mean, you could think about it as like, okay, well, Teshar could maybe help you get to the boss, and then, like, who cares if he dies at the boss, because he's not really much of a help anyway, but he might make the runs faster, but you really need the other monsters to pick up the slack for him, though. But I don't think these chickens, phoenixes, are the best for Necropolis, though. They wouldn't be my picks for that. Elemental dungeons, because even the people that you know have some of these phoenixes, you're like, you never see them in their Necropolis teams. He's not in my Necropolis team, I'll tell you that. Elemental, well, not this one, the Teshar. Elemental dungeons, yes, he could be good for those. Especially, he's got this heal block, right? Which would be good for, I think, is the wind one that heals. The Hall of Wind. So see, the elemental dungeons, yes, he'd be good for those. Secret dungeons, no, he doesn't have AoE skills, so no. He's not Teshar, he's not Sigmarus, no AoEs. Not good for secret dungeons. 3-team Rift of World Raids, yes, actually. Actually, yes, because he does big damage, right? This is a nice damage skill. And then this is going to do Brand. He's got enough HP to not be horrible. He can't be frontline because his defense is crap. But this is Disturb HP Recovery and Brand. It doesn't matter if the enemy can't be revived with it, it's whatever, but we're at least getting Disturb HP Recovery and Brand. And big damage, so Rune him, he could be a damage dealer that has 2 debuffs, so that's not bad. Elemental Rift Beasts. Yes. Since he's a big single target damage, so yes. And he's got the Brand too. He's got the Brand too, which is nice for Rift Beasts too. Trial of Ascension, not really my first choice for Trial. Not really even, not any of my choices for Trial Ascension. I wouldn't put him in Trial Ascension. This is just much better picks. AoE monsters then. Arena, yes. Guild Wars, definitely. He'd be really fun in Guild Wars. He's element neutral damage dealer. And this can kill a Perna, and a Perna can't be revived. This can kill, like, for example, if you go into a team of, like, Eladriel, Chasun, Jaara, could be annoying. Or, like, if you see Iona in guild battles, whatever. Just, kill them, and they don't come back, ever. So pretty fun for that. Even guild battle defense, I mean, yeah, guild battle defense could be pretty fun, too. You have to have good speed on him, though. But if you use him in guild battle defense, if you use a speed leader, Orion, and a Jaara, you can take this. I know it's like a cheap comp, but everyone's using. There's a reason everyone's using it, right? Like speed leader, Orion, something, because you strip something, you defense break it, and then you can do. And then they are out of one monster, right? Even if you lose, even if you have a defense failure, right? You can still potentially, if he's got high enough speed and he doesn't get interrupted, you can speed leader Orion, Jaara, and he'll fiery path, and you will kill something, hopefully, as long as it works as intended. You will kill something, and then they can't, like, bring a reviver and revive it, like, oh my god, let me bring this and this and this. It's like, no, that monster's dead now, you can't use it in the other guild battles. So sometimes in guild battles, one of the nice things is, even if your defense fails, if you take out a monster, one of the key units that the attacking player is using to attack your guild, if you take one of them out, they're going to be less likely to succeed in the future. Like if you take out their copper and they're using, like, their copper team is like their primary go-to team. If you take out their copper, or you take out their Chasun or Ryan or Lucian or whatever monster it is, or like anything, and that's like their go-to guild war monster, and it's like, oh crap. What do I do? What do I do? Right? Can't revive it. So then they have a little bit of a nerf. Maybe they're gonna have a hard time with the next two fights. Maybe your guildmates will get defense successfuls just based on that. So let's see. We talked about Trial Ascension Arena. I don't really see him as being much of an arena monster. I see him being more of a Guild Wars monster. Arena offense, if you really... It's just, he's a single target monster. For the same reason that I wouldn't use Perna really in arena offense. I know you can, but it's not as fast of a clear, and in the current meta, we're looking for speed clears, AoE monsters, AoE units. If you really want, if you're going into a team with like maybe 2 Water Fairy Kings, and like, oh, how do I do it? Okay, let's just use a Jaara. I gotta, like, if you happen to have a Jaara, I don't even know, but you only have to deal with them once. They're not gonna come back and kill you, right? They're not gonna come back and AoE deal a bunch of damage. Then again, they do have the speed leader too, so they're probably gonna get that jump on you. So gotta worry about that. But I could see niche uses for him in arena. It's just he's not gonna be in a speed clear team. Most likely. I know someone's gonna be like, oh, no, I use him in an arena speed clear team. Jubagel. And then my response to that would be, you don't have a Jaara, don't even play Jaara. Let's see. And then live arena, low base defense. He's got big base HP though. He just doesn't have the same thing with Perna, man. That Perna like has 12,000 HP and he'll survive for a while, and he's got good speed. He's not as useful in live arena as Perna is though. And Perna heals too passively, so I wouldn't go for that. All right, so what kind of runes would be good for him? Fatal, yes. Swift, yes. Especially, I mean, Swift. If you got to put him on Swift to get enough speed on him. Some of these monsters, if you need a certain amount of speed to go right after the defense breaker, you know, if you have him, you're running him in an Orion team, and you need him to be a certain speed, Swift is not that bad. I've seen nukers on Swift, man. I had my Zaros on Swift, Zaros Swift Focus, and he was doing fine. Despair, I wouldn't put him on Despair. I would go Fatal is good, Swift could be good, Violent could be good, Violent would be fun, Violent would be really fun, Rage would be good, Vampire, Let's see. I don't know if I would do really vampire too, but like, for the same reason I really wouldn't put vampire on Perna. You could put vampire on Jaara, but I don't think it's like, oh my god, that's such a fun build as vampire Jaara. It's like you could if you had good enough runes and that's just what you wanted if they had good stats, right? 2 sets of energy. He's got good base HP. He's got over 10,000 base HP. Blade, yes, you kind of need it because you want him to crit. So I think Blade would be very important on this. Focus is good for his first and third skills. Guard, don't even bother. Endure, didn't we say he has resistance here, and he has increases accuracy. Oh, you know what? Then we don't even need to worry about focus too much. As much. I would go for Blade. Endure, not really Endure. Shield, you could if you wanted to. Will, I think I would go for Blade the most. Blade or Will if you're gonna use it in PvP. Or Destroy. Because he kind of like... He kind of lends himself to be a monster that would be not bad with Destroy, but I think I would go for Blade. Blade or Will is what I would go for the most. Alright guys, another super long Jubagel video talking about how to rune phoenixes. 20 minutes on 2 of the phoenixes that no one even has. I mean chickens. But hopefully it helps you guys. Damn, maybe this is why I don't do the videos, because it's just talking for hours straight. I'm like, oh my god, I need a nap after this. Damn. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I always say I'm going to try to make them faster, but then I always want to try to make sure that I give you guys information and don't just say this and not tell you why. Like why I'm saying that. You know what I mean? So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I will see you as always in the next one. And if you don't already have a phoenix chicken, then hopefully you pull one soon.